Hi, welcome back to Chiggy Skateboarding. I'm Glenn, this is the second video in a series, and today you'll learn how to draw grind rails. And remember, drawing in 3D is the best way for designers to imagine new things to build. Ashley Wild Ramps made the incredible ramps for Chiggy's skate park. You can check out their range, use the link in the comments below. You're looking at a round rail. We'll shorten it to 3 legs. I could imagine the round rail facing left, right or up and down. Even if I turn the splat upside down, that's my isometric lines. Now with an ellipse at each end, I'm turning them into a piece of pipe. Did you notice how the splat has little letters printed on it? That's the right, left, and the split up the middle is the vertical direction. So the starting point of this drawing will be 4 centimeters across and then 10 centimeters up. You can use the side of the page to make sure that your splat is straight up and down. So let's head on over to the starting point and draw just one isometric line. Now we're going to extend that line. You guys make it really, really light because we'll probably rub out most of it at the end. I'm drawing it dark so that you can see it at home. From the starting point, use the edge of the splat to step off 1 division and then 2 and then a third. And then erase everything after the 3rd dot. I'm drawing a really small circle at one end. Actually, it's slightly squashed. It's called an ellipse, and half at the other end. Go ahead and connect those with a straight line, and we have our round pipe. That's our round grind rail. Cool. I'm using a texter to highlight the centimetre divisions on the left-hand side of the splat. We'll be using those. I'm coming in roughly 1 centimetre from both ends and placing a mark. Now I'm going to drop straight down, and I'm coming down 1 centimetre. You can adjust any of these measurements, of course, when you start designing your own. Now it's time to give those legs some thickness. So I'm going to draw a half an ellipse at the bottom, and the same thing on the back leg. And then we'll just go up until that line meets our grind rail. The final leg goes right in the middle, and judging by those 2 lines, I can guess the middle fairly closely. These rails would be made out of steel pipe, and it's most likely welded together. Welding is a process that melts the metal together, makes it really strong. I'm using this small ellipse. I'm going to put some round discs of metal on the bottom. Just make sure those lines are straight up and down or vertical. And then using the center of that ellipse, just go ahead and mark in your bigger ellipse. So that's a round foot that we're putting on the bottom of each leg. You can design your own shaped foot. We're going to draw a rail at this end of the ramp. First I'm going to extend along the ground 1 splat length. Then I'm going to join that to the end of the rail. So I'm constructing the drawing as I go. Where the ramp meets the ground, we want it to be nice and smooth. So what angle do we cut it on? That splat angle is flat to the ground, so there's my guideline. Let's extend that one and then round it off. That way there's nothing to get caught on. Here I'm adding some bolts that could bolt it down to the concrete. Alright, so let's get started on the second drawing. Come across 13 and up 8 centimeters. This rail is going to be curved at the top like a hoop. Center the ellipse, and we're going to start off by drawing a full circle or ellipse. Now we're going to cut it in half, so holding the splat straight up and down, draw a line through the center and then erase what's underneath. So we've got a semicircle. Let's enlarge it by tracing around the ellipse on the outside and thickening it up a bit. Try to keep it roughly the same thickness all the way around. Go with a light line backwards and forwards and then darken it in once you're sure that you've got a shape you're happy with. Next we're going to put a base on the bottom of this design. So I'm going to start off by sketching a rectangle by drawing from the center a line that comes towards me and then away. Watch again, towards and away, although a lot of that's hidden. Now in this direction we're going to use another one of those splat lines or isometric lines, and at the back same thing, isometric line, and you'll see a little bit inside the hoop there. Great. Now that would work, but to fancy it up, you could imagine removing the corners or creating any shape that you want inside that rectangle. Cool, so I'm just erasing there, and notice each time I have a corner I'm dropping a short line down, so I'm adding a little bit of thickness. Flat steel like this is called plate, so I've got a steel plate here and some bolts bolting it down. And now for the third rail, I'm going to get you to come across 13 centimeters and then up 4. On that starting point, give me an isometric line, extend, and then step off 3 more divisions. Now trim your line down to the third mark, and we need to find the middle. Use those 2 marks to guess the middle, and then come up half a splat edge, so halfway to the blip. We're drawing an arch grind rail, but we don't want a bump right at the top, so I'm going to draw a little flat guideline and use that to draw my curve. So we start on the line and then drop it down till it meets the end. Start with a really light line and then darken in or firm in once you're sure you've got it. Let's start from the line again and go backwards. Great. So once you've got it nice and smooth, then firm it in, and then we just need to thicken it up. So let's draw the pipe by copying that line on the inside. That's called offsetting a line. And where it meets the ground, I'm going to need to draw a long shape ellipse. Erase the bits you don't need, and we're almost there. Let's design some feet. So we'll start off with one line, round it off at the bottom, and up again. Let's draw the round bit first, and then the 2 lines of the leg coming up. So we're using some pipe again for legs. This time for the feet, we're going to draw a line towards and away using the left splat, and at the front we'll do the same thing, come towards you and away. Where those lines end will also be on a splat angle, just using the other side. Cool, I'm sure you've got that. Awesome. Now let's add a few bolts to hold it down, and if you want some thickness to the plate, just drop those corners down. Let's have a go at drawing a skateboard and a rider. So let's draw the skateboard and put some feet on it, some legs with bent knees, and then the body I'm going to draw leaning forward, for balance, so a head, and then just some arms coming out. So stick figure is a great way to get to plan your figure. It's also the only way that I can draw people. So I draw a stick figure and then just draw like a t-shirt that comes all the way down. And then just cover the legs by tracing around with another line and making them look like jeans or shorts. Draw in your choice of your favourite shoes, and we are done. Now add some colour to your designs and you are amazing. Go ahead and design your own skate park elements now. Thanks to you for joining in today, and thanks to Ashwild Ramps and Chiggies. Had a great time, so tune in for part 3 and we'll be drawing more skate park elements. Thanks, bye.